So I have this really interesting question from Jude. And Jude is saying, I have a question on relationships. What's the right time to express relationship intentions to a lady one has been friends with for a while? Recently, I proposed a relationship to a lady that I have been talking with for a while on a neutral friendship level. While we were talking later on, she told me she said yes to someone else a few hours before I expressed myself. She said she didn't know if my move towards her was just friendship or something deeper and had to accept the person's proposal to her. Generally, in situations like this, is it ideal to continue pursuing to see if things would work out or simply just move on? She confessed she had feelings for me too. Now, this is a good question that Jude has asked, and I think the first question Jude is asking is, what's the right time to express relationship intentions to a lady with whom you've been friends for a while? I think the right time to express relationship intentions or the way you feel to a lady is once you start feeling it. Once you start feeling it, you start to express it. Now, I think where a lot of guys kind of miss it is how to express it. And so a lot of people feel the way to express intentions is by telling a lady you like her or you love her. Some people just go straight to love. I love you. Or some people just go to, oh, I think I want to marry you. You understand? And they think those are romantic cues. But those are not romantic cues. Those are not even romantic words. They do not express your intention. In fact, some of these things, when you say them and the time is not right, they are more off-putting to a lady and can throw a lady off unless you meet a lady who is desperate to get married. And unfortunately, there are more of them out there right now than ladies that are just, waiting to build, go from a relationship to a marriage and get to know someone. There are a lot of them that just want to get married next year, get married next month. You understand? So they want to go. I see it a lot on social media where people are just saying, I'm tired of the talking phase of a relationship. I don't do this talking phase anymore. If you want to know more about me, just download this PDF and let's just go straight into the relationship and get married next month. No, I'm not talking about those kind of ladies. And I think that's a very dangerous mindset for a young woman to have, to just not want to investigate. I think young ladies do not understand that this going into a relationship, what you call a talking phase of a relationship, is more for your protection than it is to delay you from getting married. It's more for your protection. So I believe that a young lady who is willing to know a guy would not see "I love you" from the onset as a romantic cue. "I love you" is not a romantic word, and "I want to marry you" is not a romantic word, or "I like you" is not a romantic word. I think you start to show intentions by using romantic cues and stuff like "I care." You understand? I care about you. I care about how you feel. Those are more romantic words. I was thinking about you this morning. You're the first person I thought about this morning. You came to my mind. You've been on my mind. Those are more romantic words. I've missed you is those are more romantic cues, and ladies are more intelligent than you give them credit for. They pick up these cues, and when you start using them, trust me, they might seem more subtle than just going out and telling her you love her, but they mean more. And she picks up those cues that you use those words. Trust me, ladies are very good with words. They know how to pick out words. So you might say it and you say, "Oh, I was thinking about you this morning," or "I've been thinking about you all morning." You might say, "Oh, that might not get her attention," but it means a lot to her just to know that she was on your mind all morning. You understand? Or her saying, "Oh, I went out and I fell and stuff," and you just saying, "Oh, I hope you're not hurt." I hope you're not hurt. Hope you didn't hurt yourself. Those are more romantic words. Ladies pick up stuff like that, ending a call and instead of just saying bye, just say, oh, take good care of yourself. Those are more romantic. Those are hints that a lady begins to say, oh, I think this guy is interested. So I think once you start having the intentions, start expressing them, but not in overpowering ways, in real, subtle, caring, friendly ways. You understand? That's how you start. And then you realize that she will start getting the hint. You understand? She will start getting the hint. But now, to come to your situation where there's this girl who you've been friends with for a while, and you now expressed intentions of wanting to get into a relationship, a romantic relationship with her, and unfortunately when you expressed those intentions, she told you she just accepted to go into a romantic relationship with someone just 1 hour before you asked. 1 hour, that's ridiculously painful timing right there. So you're asking, should you still proceed with this, letting her know your intentions, or should you just move on? Especially when she has now expressed that she also had feelings for you. Now, this is where I think it's very important to say this, that relationships are not marriages. That you are in a relationship doesn't mean you are married. And I'm saying this to both young men and young women. Relationships are not marriages. Now, what I might say here, some people might not agree with it, but that's fine. This is how I feel, and these are my thoughts on this issue. Relationships are not marriages. And the reason why I'm saying that is a lot of people make a big fuss about relationships. Now, relationships are serious things. Romantic relationships are serious things. However, we must always keep it at the back of our minds. Once we start treating a relationship like a marriage, we start losing the essence of being in a relationship. You understand? Relationships are not marriages. Relationship can be pathways to marriages, but they are not marriages. So when you are in a relationship with someone, you are not married. And once you can keep that in your mind, it allows you to take advantage of the freedom of being in a relationship before you get into marriage. Marriages are commitments. They are legal obligations. They are enforced by law. You understand? Marriages are legal institutions. It's a legal partnership. The law recognizes a marriage. It is a crime, both legally and spiritually, to break somebody's marriage. It is. A relationship is not a legal obligation. It's a consensual thing, but it's not a legal obligation. A relationship is an investigation. You understand? Not a confirmation. It is an investigation. It's an ongoing investigation. And you must always see it that way. I see so many people treat relationships like they're in a marriage. So she's in a relationship. And so what? That's my question. And so what? She didn't tell you she's married. She's in a relationship. And now this is the point where the relationship has to prove itself in her own mind. Am I in a relationship with somebody I truly love, or am I in a relationship with somebody I just said yes to out of an unavailability of any other person? And there are so many ladies that go into relationships like that. Nobody came, so this young man came and I said yes. That's a very faulty way of going to a relationship. But there are a lot of people that do it. For me, I'm not as concerned. I think people make too much of a fuss of, oh, she has a boyfriend, oh, he has a girlfriend. No. I don't believe in that. It's what's the quality of the relationship? What is the quality of the relationship? I believe relationships are like walking into a supermarket or a grocery store. You go into a supermarket and you pick a particular product. You pick a particular product and put it in your shopping cart. But you've not gone to the till yet. You just pick the product you put in your shopping cart. And then you're walking down the aisle and you see a product that offers better than the one you put in your shopping cart. The shopping cart one, that was the first one you saw. You thought it looked good and stuff like that. It wasn't really, but you're like, I'm not sure I will see any other one in this supermarket. So you're walking towards the cart, towards the till or the checkout. And you see another one offers much better packaging, offering of it. It's much better. Branding, everything is better. Do you tell yourself, I've already put this one in the shopping cart. It doesn't offer everything I want. I was going to manage it. I now see this one that offers everything I want plus more. Do you tell yourself, I've already committed to putting this one in the shopping cart? Or do you take that one and put it back on the shelf and put the one that meets your needs in the shopping cart? That's the way I see relationships. Is that freedom you have to walk through the supermarket of life. And once you walk through the supermarket of life, you put something in your shopping cart. But till you get to the checkout till, keep your eyes open, because you might see something better. That's the truth. You might see something better. And there is no crime in putting something back on the shelf and taking something that is better. No crime whatsoever. It becomes a crime when you take something, you've paid for it, you've left the supermarket, and you now want to go back and get another one. Then you have wasted your money. Some supermarkets, a lot of them, you can't refund jack. Let's even assume you can't refund at all. You've wasted your money. It's embarrassing. You have to go through a long process of customer service, what their policies are, and stuff like that. Because you've committed. You've bought one. You've said it now becomes yours. Now you're trying to sell what is yours back to the supermarket. It's messy. If you are single, you're not married, you're in a relationship, it's an investigation. If you're not comfortable with what you see, you are free to leave. If you are not comfortable with what you see or what you've been experiencing, I will say this again. I would advise you leave. You are free to leave. Breaking a relationship is not a crime. Anyway, it isn't. It's not a crime. It could cause hurt. It could cause hurt, but sometimes it might be the kindest thing you might do to somebody. That you realize, I really don't love this person. I don't love this person. I'm just managing this person because I didn't see any other person. But you now happen to meet someone who you truly love, who you've been hoping would come to you. I'll put it that way, especially for women. Look, sometimes the kindest thing you can do to a guy is to leave him for somebody that sees him for all he is and takes him and says, this is what I wish for. The offering, that product you put back on the shelf. Someone like, thank God they put this one back on the shelf. Oh, this is exactly what I want. Leave it for that person. That's the kindest thing. Sometimes some ladies try to be nice and they stick with a guy all through marriage that they were not comfortable with because they didn't want to hurt him. In the end, most of those people end up seriously hurting the people that they manage in relationship in marriage. So what I see is a lot of people have a rugged commitment to relationship, to their romantic relationships, even when they realize it's not working. But sometimes a rugged commitment to a relationship that is not working always leads to infidelity in a marriage that should work. A lot of people that cheat in marriages are people that didn't tell themselves the truth in relationships. When you ruggedly commit yourself to a faulty relationship, in marriage, when you realize that you've committed yourself to a lifelong legal obligation, then you start looking for side doors. You start reflecting on that boyfriend that should have been, that girlfriend that should have been. That's where infidelity comes in. So, for Jude, this young lady said yes to somebody an hour before you. Well, my question is, and so what? Does that stop you from making your intentions known? No, make your intentions known. Now, she needs to ask herself, I am satisfied with this guy. This guy is good enough, is what I want. Do you understand? Because if she's still in a relationship, oh, I had feelings for you and stuff like that, but I thought you were not interested. It's not the end of the conversation for both of you. Were her feelings for you strong? Are you the ideal guy for her? Look, it sounds messy. It sounds hurting for you to say, oh man, 1 hour ago, you asked me out, but now, I changed my mind. Look, I know so many married people that wish they had that opportunity to go back and tell the person 1 hour after they asked them out that they changed their mind. A lot of people do not understand that being in a troubled marriage is one of the worst emotions in the world. The worst emotion in the world. Very, very few things, if anything, tops that. Being in a troubled marriage, being married to somebody you do not love, is one of the worst emotions in the world, if not the worst. I've not just done my research, but I'm sure it ranks highly up there. I've talked to too many people that if they had a genie with only one wish, not three, just one wish, they don't need 3 wishes, just one wish, they wouldn't wish for better health, they wouldn't wish for money, they wouldn't wish for anything but to go back to that point where they said hello to that person that they are married to right now. And what they will do is they will wish never to cross paths with that person. I know too many people that would pay anything in the world to go back to the morning of their wedding. They don't care whether people have dressed up, people have spent money, people have traveled. They will say no. In that church, in that mosque, in that court, they will say no. They will run for their lives. If you're in a relationship, you still have the privilege. I see too many people treat relationships like marriages. They are not marriages. Relationships are ongoing investigations. You've not concluded anything yet. 1 hour ago, that person's name is still written in pencil. Pencil. Not even hard pencil, very soft, erasable pencil. To be in a relationship is a privilege to investigate somebody. And you still have the privilege to say, I am interested, I am not interested, I'm not doing this thing anymore. That it will hurt doesn't mean you are wrong. It doesn't mean you are making the wrong move. A lot of people are too scared of hurting the other person and saying, you know what, I don't feel this way anymore. I don't. I'd rather we break this relationship than deceive ourselves and get married. I don't think so. Relationships are not marriages. Relationships are not marriages. We need to keep that at the back of our mind, if not at the fore of our minds. That you're in a relationship with a person doesn't mean you're married to them. I know way too many guys that have marriage expectations of their girlfriends. Way too many guys contact me and tell me, she doesn't honor me, she doesn't respect me, she doesn't treat me as an authority. Who made you an authority? You're not an authority yet. You are a boyfriend. You're not a husband. You're in a relationship. She's still investigating you. She doesn't owe you any respect as a husband. You are not an authority. till you get married. And even at that, an authority doesn't say they're an authority, they earn it. So I see a lot of guys saying she doesn't respect. Doesn't respect. Who will respect you as what? What's the hierarchy of a friendship? So a lot of young men say, oh, their girlfriends are not respectful enough. They argue with them too much. They talk while they are talking. They want to be treated like husbands while they are boyfriends. Whatever they want to call it. And that's the problem, Even in the Christian faith, they don't know what to call it. So they just say husband. My husband in waiting. He's not your husband yet. He's still under investigation. As a friend in whom you are romantically involved. Romantically involved without having sex. You understand? They're just investigating each other, but it has a special place in your heart. There's romantic feelings there. But it's not your husband. Guys ought to stop this terrible, rubbish attitude of expecting a girl in whom they are courting to start acting like a wife. And start demanding respect. And start quoting Bible. Bible says the woman must respect, the man is the head. You're not the head yet. You're not the head of anything yet. You have separate heads. And also, women should stop expecting men to act like husbands while you are still courting. It's not your husband yet. You have no entitlement to his earnings. As saying, I need to be put on a girlfriend salary, or what they call it. Allowance. Girlfriend allowance. You have no entitlement to his earnings or his possessions. No entitlement. Some girls feel totally entitled, like if they are joined to the person already. So why didn't you send me this? Why didn't you buy this for me? You are under investigation. You are under investigation. Relationships are not marriages. That you are dating doesn't give you a right to go to his house and pass the night, or spend the weekend, or clean his bathroom, or cook breakfast for him. Some guys demand that the girl cooks for them. She says, oh, I'm dating, she'll never cook for me. Why should she cook for you? She your wife? So some people are abusing relationship status. They're not investigating anything. They are committed already. So relationships that they should investigate, that they've investigated and the result is not good, they commit to it because they're like, oh, we're already in a relationship. What does that mean? Relationship means you can say, I want to continue, or say, I don't want to continue. It doesn't matter how many of his family members you've met, whether you've met his grandfather, his ancestors, or whoever they is. I've met his mother, he has already introduced me. What does that mean? That means nothing. So for Jude, you and this girl, ask yourself serious questions. Does she want to put that product back on the shelf? Are you a better offering? No better time than now. Because you know what? If she goes ahead and gets married to this 1 hour before you guy, and she realizes that he's not the man for her, it will haunt her for the rest of her life that she let you go. And if you too decide that, okay, she's not a no-go area because it's the 1 hour before you guy, and you just go and settle for somebody, she would always be the Achilles heel of your marriage. God help you guys that you don't meet each other in future when you're both happily, in quote, married. Most people do not cheat with strangers. They cheat with people that they didn't conclude with, that they weren't honest with themselves about from their past. Most people, very few people in marriages cheat with strangers. It's with one girl that should have been their girlfriend. Was their girlfriend they left for some reason that they shouldn't have left. Some boyfriend that didn't have the courage to come up to her. They're dilly-dallying around, friendship. Some guy that said he was interested, but she was committed to a jerk. That she felt like, I'm in a relationship already. That's where cheat. Those are the people that cheat the most. That's where they cheat. That's the person they cheat with. Not with some random gardener. No. Very few people cheat with random people. It's with relationships that were not expressed. So, for you, Jude, make your intentions known. Make your intentions known. She's in a relationship unless she tells you. She tells you, you know what? I'm happy with this guy. I do not appreciate this pressure from you. Let me be. Then respect her enough to let her be. But all that, I had feelings for you. Why weren't you fast enough? No. That doesn't matter. Because she's not married. If she told me she was married, I'll tell you, look, Jude, leave her alone. Because God will deal with you. And if the law should catch you, the law will deal with you too. But she's not married. She needs to make up her mind and say, look, I've committed to this guy. I'm satisfied with this guy. Let it be. Then let her be out of respect for her. She had made up her mind. But one thing I wouldn't advise you to do, and this way I need to be very clear, is for you guys, while she's in a relationship, to be having side talks. No. You must let her know, are you satisfied with this guy? Should I let you go? Decision is hers. Are you satisfied with this 1 hour before me guy? Because that doesn't matter. Whether it's 1 hour, 1 year, 2 years, or 6 years before you, it doesn't matter. Do you see me better than this guy? You understand? Are you satisfied with this guy? And if she says yes, then let her go. If she says no, then she needs to make up her mind. Give her time to make up her mind. I say, I'll give you some time, make up your mind. If you really want to be with me, I'm here, I'm open. But make up your mind. What some people do is they start talking. You understand, with the person. So you're talking with her and having side conversations. Every time her boyfriend, when she ends the conversation with her boyfriend, she resumes with you. No. Don't do that. You understand? Don't waste your time or waste her time. Don't put 2 products in your shopping cart that do exactly the same thing, but because you're afraid to put one back on the shelf. No. That's a rubbish attitude. You understand? That is you allowing yourself to be treated lower than you deserve. So she can't break up the relationship with you, but then with her boyfriend, but then she wants to keep you as, you understand, as a spare tire. What will happen? She will marry that boyfriend and she will leave you. You understand? No. What you need to do is tell her you're interested and tell her to go and consider it. Tell her you get back to her in 2 weeks, in a month, whatever how much time you want to give her, in a week, depending on you. You understand? How much time? If you really like me, I'm ready to go into this relationship, but then that other one has to end. That one that you're not in, that she has investigated and is not meeting up to standard. She needs to make up her mind. From what I know about ladies, a lot of them like to eat their cake and have it. They'd rather be with that guy and still keep you as a friend. That's a waste of time, a waste of emotions. They'll tell you, I don't know what to do. I don't want to hurt him. I don't want to hurt him. He's such a good person. It's not about being nice. It's about being kind. Such a nice guy. I don't want to hurt him. But then they're like, I don't want to lose you too as a friend. Because I enjoy talking to you. If you enjoy talking to me and you want to keep it, and you want to have romantic conversations and come and cry on my shoulders, that guy cannot be in the picture. A lot of guys are not firm too. They fall for that and say, okay, all right, then let's keep on like this. In the end, you will lose the most because you will marry that guy. So, if there's anything you're going to take away from this, relationships are not marriages. They are ongoing investigation. I think guys need to put this in their head. I think ladies need to put this in their head. I think it will save a lot of future marriages if we used the rights that we had within the relationships to say, I am interested or I don't want to do it anymore. I think we will have more marriages that survive. We will have more people that are totally in love with each other in marriages. rather than having people that just decided to go into it and say, let's see whether it's going to be better in marriage. It never gets better in marriage. If it wasn't good in the relationship, it's not going to get better in marriage. Not going to get better in marriage. Be absolutely in love with someone you're in a relationship with. When you see that, that investigation is not going, I'm not satisfied with this part of their life, I'm not satisfied with that. You talk about it, it doesn't change. It's hard to change people. The hardest thing is to change an adult. It's hard. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do is end the relationship so that they can go and find the person that sees them for all they are and loves them for all they are. Someone that sees them and cannot believe how lucky they are to have you. Someone that will call you in future and say, thank you for leaving this guy and leaving this girl. It's better than you managing that person. Managed marriages are failed marriages. So I hope that helps you, Jude, and any other person listening to this.